Hey, this is Alex Leach with CG Magazine, and I'm here with Chris Avellone, the man who needs no introduction but gets one anyway. Creative director and co-owner of Obsidian Games, worked on many of the great RPGs that we've all played, and I'm here to ask him a few questions.
Oh, Alex, thank you for having me, and I'm happy to answer whatever you'd like.
First off, there's a spiritual sequel to Torment coming out, Tides of Numenera, and I've heard you've done some work on that.
I was involved with the In Exile Kickstarter for that game. I was really happy that we were able to do a spiritual successor to Planescape. It's something that I've wanted to do for a long time, and it's something that In Exile has wanted to do for a long time as well. It's got a number of the original team members. Colin McComb is lead designer. We have Adam Heine, who was a programmer on the original Torment. They're back together and working on it, and it's all shaping up really, really good.
You also had the Project Eternity Kickstarter, which did also spectacularly well.
Yeah, we were pretty surprised by the success that it had. Our art director at Obsidian was, you guys know you're going to make your funding goal within 24 hours. We're like, I don't think so. Like, give it a few weeks and we might actually be able to make it. But we were really surprised by the amount of backer support and how quickly we reached the funding goal. So that worked out pretty well.
And so you've had some good experiences with the Kickstarter model, and you'll be planning to use it again?
That is something that we have talked about. We actually weren't sure if the public, or how the public would respond to doing another Kickstarter. However, once In Exile did the Tides of Numenera Kickstarter, and that went really well, that sort of proved to us that there's a way to sort of do two Kickstarters at once and have that be successful. As to whether we'd actually do that or what the title might be, that I have no idea.
All right, and how does the Kickstarter model change the dynamic of producing games and planning out games?
Wow, that is a good question. So there's a lot of points to that. The first thing is you end up doing a lot of your production work up front. A lot of it is getting the Kickstarter prepared, making sure you have your logistics set up, making sure that you have all your marketing and press point contacts set up, that you're building up hype for the project. And usually that's stuff that you're doing over the course of the entire project. With Kickstarter, it's more upfront with the process. Second of all, the amount of community management that you have to do for a Kickstarter is pretty intensive. So making sure that you have a community manager or someone solely focused on that community support is really, really important. But the most important point about it, and actually the best part about the Kickstarter process, is I don't think I've ever had the opportunity to share design stuff with the public as much as I have with a Kickstarter. Because normally when we're doing AAA titles, we have to keep a lot of that stuff to ourselves and very, very secret, and also from other companies. But with Kickstarter, I feel like there's just more of a sharing of, like, here's our design approach to this. Like, you know, here's Wasteland's 2 vision document. What do you guys think about that? You know, as players and backers, are these goals that you guys agree with? And getting that level of feedback and iteration and support has just been really, really cool. And that's been really morale boosting and kind of helped build momentum and certainly build developer energy at the studio. So overall, I've been really loving it.
And how does that change things for the players, do you think?
I think it makes players more empowered in a few respects. One is their voices are heard, incorporated. They can see the tangible results of their feedback going into the game. Also, I think it's been really good for players and backers to see the steps of how these design elements get made in the first place. They're like, oh, okay, well, I understand the reason for this, the conditional for this, and why the end result is like this. And I think once they're armed with that knowledge, they can also speak about the product later on to people who may not be familiar with what those steps were. So that's one answer.
This is Alex Leach with CG Magazine. Stay tuned for more MIGS coverage.